Hello and welcome to AI Market Insights. Let's begin with the major story shaping the market today. Nvidia's H200 AI chip is expected to receive conditional approval for export to China. Beijing, however, is preparing restrictions on how foreign AI chips can be used in data centers and state-linked facilities. So this is not a full reopening of the China market. It's a controlled, highly monitored restart, and it immediately becomes a key geopolitical variable for the entire AI supply chain. U.S. equities were mostly flat. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq slipped slightly, while the 10-year Treasury yield moved up toward 4.17%, keeping pressure on rate-sensitive tech names. The upcoming FOMC meeting is fully priced for a 25 basis point cut. So the real focus is not the cut itself, but how fast the Fed signals rate reductions for next year, and whether Chair Powell leans dovish or hawkish. AI and semiconductor stocks remain the most rate-sensitive trade in the market right now. Now to today's AI and semiconductor spotlight. Nvidia, ticker NVDA. The H200 export news pushed the stock higher. But China's tightening rules around foreign AI chips, especially in government-funded data centers, mean demand could remain restricted and selective. This is essentially a conditional reopening, not a full market expansion. Broadcom, ticker AVGO, demand for AI data center networking hardware remains strong. And importantly, Broadcom reports earnings this week, making it one of the key indicators of how fast AI infrastructure spending is scaling. AMD, Microsoft, Alphabet, Apple. Higher yields typically weigh on growth tech, but we are seeing early signs of AI and semiconductor names being re-rated, as investors reassess what fair value looks like in a world of accelerating AI deployments. Nvidia's developments continue to influence the AI investment strategies of these megacap players. Let's move to global AI infrastructure and energy trends. A major development today, Brookfield Asset Management and Qatar's state-owned AI company, K, announced a $20 billion joint venture focused on building integrated compute centers across the region. This positions Qatar as a potential AI hub in the Middle East, suggesting the global AI map, traditionally dominated by the US and China, is rapidly becoming multipolar. Meanwhile, in the US, NextEra Energy has reportedly signed large-scale power agreements with several hyperscalers to support next-generation AI data centers. This includes renewable energy supply and multi-gigawatt data center campuses planned for 2026 and beyond. AI is no longer just a technology story, it is an energy and infrastructure story. Now to SpaceX, the expanding AI and communications layer. SpaceX is reportedly targeting an IPO in the second half of 2026, with a potential valuation between $800 billion and $1 trillion. Starlink's global satellite network is increasingly viewed as a critical communications layer for AI workloads, from real-time model synchronization to autonomous vehicles and robotics. This positions SpaceX as one of the most important external infrastructure players, supporting the broader AI ecosystem. For international investors, especially in Asia, a weaker yen has boosted returns for US dollar assets, but FX volatility remains a risk for international investors. In addition, Japan's long-term interest rates have moved sharply higher, approaching the 1.9% level. Some analysts warn that if Japanese yields continue to rise, it could trigger a global unwinding of carry trades, creating volatility across equities, bonds, and currencies worldwide. Meanwhile, AI and semiconductor themes continue to show long-term strength, but shifts in US-China AI policy may still influence hardware and equipment suppliers globally. Looking ahead to tomorrow's key events. The biggest event is the FOMC decision and Powell's press conference. The key question is, how aggressive or cautious will Powell be about the rate cut path for next year? A dovish tone could lift AI and semiconductor stocks further, while a hawkish stance risks pushing yields higher and pressuring tech valuations. Broadcom's earnings will also provide a direct read on AI infrastructure spending momentum. Additionally, any new guidance from China on AI chip usage, including limits on the H200, could quickly move markets. AI and semiconductor news is increasingly tied to policy, energy, and global infrastructure. Understanding these links is essential for navigating this fast-moving market. If you found today's briefing helpful, Please consider subscribing for more concise daily updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.